Let's transfer a hissy pissy scorpion. All right, here's my idea. Pretty similar to the other one, except this is a burrowing species. So I actually got a bag of excavator clay. It's a burrowing substrate. This will allow the scorpion to do a little bit better job burrowing. This will stay together a little bit better. It's made up of clay and sand, so that if it does dig a tunnel, it'll stay there, and you can actually make tunnels yourself. And you can actually mold this like clay and make little tunnels for it to hide in. It should be pretty neat stuff. It took a few days for this to come in the mail, so the poor scorpion has been in the temporary enclosure. So let's hurry up and build this for it and get that little hissy pissy thing into this. I'm going to leave this on it right here while I'm showing you what I'm doing so it doesn't scratch up the side. I'm going to put some rocks in like this. Then I will put a nice big flat rock in. Lean it up against that one so that it can't slide out and flatten the scorpion. It's impossible for it to move. And then I'll put another one up on top of here and probably put a little piece of glue on there as well, like that. So then it's going to have a couple of naturally made burrows. So you can see that there'll be gaps between the top rock and a gap between that big side rock where it'll already have a naturally made burrow. If it wants to make more burrows by burrowing into this clay, that's fine. And if not, then it'll have these pre-made burrows already for it. So that's the idea. I'm going to lean those up there. I'm going to add a little bit more decoration to it, but I need to mix up the clay substrate and get it going. The directions on the excavator clay say 1.5 cups of water for this 5-pound bag. And I have 2 of these bags in case we need more. I'm not sure if one will be enough. Here's one bag, and here is 1.5 cups of water. And then you get dirty. And it doesn't look like quite enough water. It's still a little bit dry, but it really makes a nice solid ball. I'm pretty sure that's about where you want it. Let's wedge this one in there so that it can't fall down. So we'll have its kind of homemade hides, or the hides that we made for it here. And then we'll have a lot of substrate in here, a couple inches, if it wants to actually burrow itself. Okay, starting to get somewhere. Now before we add more of that, I want to glue this on here somewhere. And I also have a cap, a bottle cap, that I'm going to use. You can see it here. And this is a piece of a succulent fake plant. It used to have a bunch of little pieces inside of it. I ripped those all out, and I'm going to glue this in the middle of here so that it kind of disguises it and makes it look almost like a plant instead of a water cap. So let's do that. Add a little bit of glue here. Put that in there. And there we have our succulent water thing. That'll look cool down in there. And that'll be its water dish. Pretty cool. And if this is going here, I don't want to glue this too much. I want to be able to pull this off if I need to for some reason, but I want to give it enough so that it's not going to move. Just a little bit. Okay. So right now she's kind of small. She could easily fit in here. Then we need to find a nice home for this. And then I can maybe cover the front of this rock with a little bit more of the clay substrate so that you can't see that. Okay, we might call that finished for now. Let's add one more maybe. Then it kind of covers up this big area also. Okay. Plenty of rocks to climb on, plenty of rocks to hide under, good couple inches of substrate if it wants to burrow itself. I'm going to give it, I think, at least a night to set up a little bit, because right now it's like a muddy mess. If the scorpion goes in there right now, it might burrow in this, but it's just going to be a sloppy, muddy, messy scorpion. So I'm going to let it dry a little bit, and I will get it in there. So for me, it'll be a single night. For you guys, it will be instant. So we'll do that part next. I let it sit out to dry a little bit, so it is still kind of moist. The top layer is pretty firm. This will still allow it to burrow if it wants to, but it's not a sloppy, muddy mess. It's not going to get really gross and disgusting. So I'm going to clean up the sides a little bit, and then we're going to transfer this little thing. And this should be a nice container for it. So let's move that out of the way and bring over the star of the show, who is hiding in here. And again, this thing's probably gonna hiss at me quite a bit. And I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear it. There you go. Pretty neat, huh? Can't see because Iron City's in the way. After you transfer tarantulas into different enclosures, these scorpions are just so much easier to work with. I mean, that was painfully simple. Let's see if I can get pretty close here. Well, it doesn't want to hiss. Let's see if actually it'll take a cricket. She's a really cool looking scorpion, right? And I'm kind of glad she didn't really hiss for you. That means that she wasn't too worked up, so the rehousing wasn't that traumatizing for her. So let's try to give it a cricket. Awesome. These things are great eaters and really cool to watch. A little bit of stinger action there. Awesome. Well, I appreciate everybody watching, and please like, comment, subscribe, share. And I have lots of fun things planned for this channel, so please come with me on the journey. It should be a good time.